Okay, here goes the next problem. Here we go. Number 2. Again, let me write the general form first so that we make sure that our functions are in this form, because what they're going to do is try to write it different so that it looks wrong or it looks weird. Y is equal to A sine parentheses, and this is bx plus c, and then plus d, right? We got to know these A, B, C, D. You got to have these in the right order so we don't confuse any of these letters, right? Okay, so this is the general form, and again, that could be sine or cosine. So the problem is going to look like this. The second one, what if you have something that says y is equal to 4 minus 2 cosine 1/5 x minus 3/2? Okay. This is not written correctly. I see this part here with the parentheses in the function, and I don't see a number back here. And actually, what did they do? They wrote it over here. So when you rewrite this, right, because it's not in this form, I know some of you can see it and you don't need to rewrite it, but I'm going to do it. All right, because right now you're just learning it, but later you'll be familiar with it. Maybe you won't need to rewrite it, but I'll do it today. I mean, for this problem here. So honestly, this one should be back there. So really, this is y is equal to -2 cosine of 1/5 x minus 3/2, and that's a positive 4, so plus 4. So here we go. I got A is equal to what? 2. That's our amplitude. Remember, it's not negative. Negative is for the cosine. That's my value of B. I'm going to write it over here. Make sure you write it. C is a -3/2. Watch the sign on the C. C is -3/2, and D is positive 4. All right, let's take care of the easy stuff. The easy stuff is the ones where you don't have any formula to do and you can just read it off of the function here. I know my amplitude from here is 2. And this number out here, I know what that means. That's my vertical shift. My vertical shift is 4. Positive 4 means what? Up 4. 4 units up. That's one of the last things we're going to do anyways. Your job is to make sure you don't get this wrong. You get this wrong, the whole thing's wrong. Your period has to be correct and the phase shift. How do we determine the period? Period is equal to 2 pi over b, which I want to see this. Which I want to see 2 pi divided by what? 1/5. Some of you skip right away to doing the work and then you mess up because you set it up wrong. This is saying 2 pi, which is 2 pi over 1, divided by 1/5. And then this changes to 2 pi over 1 times 5/1. And then you get to simplify or do whatever arithmetic you need to do. So anyways, you're going to get the period is what? 10 pi. That's a period. Now, how do we figure out the phase shift? Because I know that's new for this. Phase shift. Well, there's another little formula for phase shift. And that little formula is what? -c over b. PS for phase shift is equal to negative of something divided by something. Let's put these correct and don't skip steps. C is a -3/2. See, there's a negative right there. -3/2. C is -3/2. And B is 1/5. All right, so we know what's going to happen with this negative. That's part of the formula. And this one here, they're going to turn positive, right? So I'm going to forget about those negatives. They turn positive. And your job is to figure out how to divide, how to do 3/2 divided by what? 1 over 5. And I know some of you can already see it and skip this step, but just don't skip too many steps. I want it, or else you're going to make a mistake. 3 over 2 times 5 over 1. That's going to give me 15 over 2. Yep. The phase shift is 15 over 2. Okay. Let me take all of this and my function. Let me write this on a separate piece of paper. Get these important parts that I need. And then we're going to do the graphing, right? Okay, so it is y is equal to negative 2 cosine of 1/5 x minus 3 over 2 plus 4. All right. We had the amplitude at 2. So let's get that going. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, this is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. And then what was the period again? The period was 10 pi. All right, so I'm going to mark a little mark off over here, 10 pi. That's going to be the length it takes for it to complete one cycle. And we've been learning to break this up in half, which half of 10 is 5. And then break that in half, which is 5 over 2 pi. The fraction is 5 over 2. And then I need this one. That's 5 over 2. 10 over 2. Everybody agree this will be 15 over 2 pi? Let's see, what did I do wrong? I'm already noticing something that's not right. Yeah, I did do something wrong. I forgot to put a pi here. It's not going to mess anything up. The only thing that I'm realizing is, yeah, put a pi here. Put a pi here. Sorry about that, guys. And the reason why is because that pi would have to go here and here, and I got 15 pi over 2. See, these increments have to match these increments, or it is. I'm designing them that way so that when I do my phase shift, if this is in pi, your phase shift is in pi, then this has to be in pi's. If this is just numbers, then this one has to be just numbers. So anyways, everything is still fine. Just add a pi there, and we're going to be good. Sorry about that. So, okay, I'm just focusing on graphing my first curve. And I notice this is a negative cosine. Watch that, huh? It's a negative cosine. Cosine starts on the y-axis, not at 0, 0, and it's a negative, so that, remember, we got to focus on these dots. That's my first dot, and the first increment's going to go there. Next increment's going to go here. Next increment's going to go here, and the last increment's going to go here. You should be using these 5 dots. There's 4 here, and then there's one going to be either on the y-axis. Well, it's going to be on the y-axis, either at the origin if it's sine, or on one of these numbers here, right, if it's positive or negative. Okay, here's the first curve, cosine, right? It's going to look like this. It's going to look like this, right? All right. Now, what do I know? I know that my phase shift, right? We did our calculations and our phase shift. Remember, that's why I had to add this pi. The phase shift is 15 over 2. And I'm telling you, the ones that I'm giving you in the assignments, it's going to match one of these increments. 15 pi over 2 is how much? Is it 1 increment? Is it 2? Is it 3? Well, look, it's 3. 1, 2, 3. It's 3 increments. I have to move all of these dots. So let's do that now. Each of these has to move 3. And since it's positive, it's a positive phase shift. Positive means to the right, right? Since phase shift is horizontal, I'm moving these left, right, and it's positive, so positive is to the right. 1, 2, 3. 15 pi over 2 is 3 of these increments. I got to move this 1, 2, 3 to here. 3 of them, see? Because that's how much 15 pi over 2 is. That's the first one. This one's going to go 1, 2, 3. That one's going to go here. And I think I'm going to have to add some more increments here, right? Because we're moving this way. And this is going to be, I did 1, I did 2, this one. 1, 2, 3. This one's going to be here. And then 1, 2, 3. Oh, this one's going to be here. And then, of course, 1, 2, 3. This one's going to be here. And it should look the same. It just got shifted over. And when I graph this second one, should look just like the first one. It just got shifted over. It got moved, right? Oh, great. It's running out of ink on me right here. All right, that's the phase shift. You've applied the phase shift. This is the first one. This is my second graph. What's last? The vertical shift. Remember we talked about the vertical shift? It's 4 units up. So what does that mean? From this blue one, this red one's kind of not here anymore. It got moved over here. We got to move it 4 up. So that's going to go 4 up. Ooh, it's going to go way up here, right? That's going to go, well, let's start with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's going to be here. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's going to be here. This dot moves up to here. This dot, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4 here. Oh, this one's going to be way up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's your final graph, right? Here's your final graph where you have applied the phase shift and the vertical shift. But what else moved? The midline, right? We got a new midline. The midline, which is here, also got what? Moved up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is the equation for this midline? Remember, this is our third and final graph. So mark it, label them 1, 2, 3. The equation for the midline. It's a line that's crossing the y-axis at positive 4. So that's going to be what? Y equals 4. Okay, that's what we're doing. All right, good luck.